Hey everybody, let's go one last time unto the breach. Here we go. It is Steam Winter Sale 2023. I am so sick. I am so tired. I am literally going to take a nap as soon as this is done. I intended to get this up last night. I couldn't, as you know, if you've been listening to these, I'm like falling apart as we're doing this. But yeah, got all my grades in. So yeah, that's done. This is the last thing of my obligations for the day. And after this, yeah, it's just, I'm going to nap until it's time to sleep. And then I'm going to wake up, have dinner, and then go to sleep. You know, it's going to be one of those days. Yeah, just stay in the PJs for the rest of the day. Anyway, let's not dilly or dally. These are games that are less than $1, and you may be wondering how much game can you get for less than $1. Well, a surprising amount, as luck would have it. We're gonna start off here, a little game called 3D RPG. Now, 3D RPG is exactly what the name implies. It is a 3D role-playing game. It is Bloxel based, as you can see here. Now, I will tell you this. When you look at the game, you're like, oh dang, that's a whole thing. That's it's an entire game and whatnot. Yes, it is. It is not as deep as perhaps it could be. It is deeper than what you would think it would be at this price point. I enjoy it. I like it. There are people who have been underwhelmed by this game just because, you know, like I say, you're not getting Final Fantasy VII here, or even Final Fantasy II, which is, you know, the weirdest and arguably the worst of the Finals Fantasy. But you are getting a serviceable, playable, fun little game, and you're getting it for 59 cents. Now, I'm going to try not to make this video a bajillion years long, so I'm going to try to say less about the games and have them do more. This is Ancient Guardians the Dragon, in which you go full Trogdor the Burninator on people. There's a bunch of dragons that you can unlock, and there's a bunch of skills that you can level up your dragon with. And you are going all in against the humans and just laying waste, burninating the peasants and their thatched roof cottages. It's really fun. You can only fly for short bursts as you start out, and then you can level up your dragon to be able to fly for longer and longer. Your various attacks have limited uses, while the more powerful ones do. And you got to level up your dragon over time and become a more and more skilled killing machine. That's not my cursor. Did they leave the cursor in the capture of the game footage on Steam? That's hilarious. Anyway, or pointer. I know the difference between a pointer and a cursor. Regardless, a lot of unlockables. Very fun game. Very interesting. You know, it is a little bit of a one-trick pony. It does start to feel a little samey after a while. But for 49 cents to get to play as the dragon, that's a pretty sweet gig. Okay, up next, Barro. Barro is a racing game, and it just reminds me of those penny racers back in the day, the little ones that you pull back and then let them go. Yeah, anyway, it is a racing game. It's kind of cartoony in the way that it looks. And there's a bunch of these games. There are 8 Barro games on Steam. I have I have most of the bits recorded for a rundown of the entire franchise and intended to have that posted before, but you know, I've been falling apart lately. So, yeah, that did not come together. Look for that in the next week or so. I should have that dropping at some point. You know, should be before the Steam sale is over. every single one of the Barro games, regardless of which one you get, is going to be fun. There are better ones than others, but yeah, if you want just the classic flavor, the original Barro, it's 49 cents, and that's the price that most of the Barro games are going to be right now. So highly recommended on the Barro. You should just have at least one Barro game in your library in case you're ever like, I want to play a racing game and I want to be able to just do it right now. Bejeweled 2, because I used to play this on my Palm Pilot. That's why. I'm very nostalgic for this specific iteration of Bejeweled. And so maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my particular nostalgic connection that makes this whole thing go. But yeah, I really do enjoy Bejeweled 2. It is excellent. Yeah, so if you need a match 3 game in your life, and who doesn't? I mean, you know, match 3 games, they're pretty awesome. It's 99 cents right now. Don't pay more for this. This game is very old. It's from 2006. Who can remember that year? Certainly not I. I'm a young person. Yeah. Anyway, fooling no one. Anyway, but yeah, because I told a story about playing this on a Palm Pilot earlier, that's why. Anyway, but yeah, I do love the Bejeweled 2. It is the simplest of puzzle games and therefore meets my requirements. Super Bit Blaster XL. Now, there is a regular Bit Blaster XL. Super Bit Blaster is the you can get both of them for 99 cents. If you don't know what the Super Bit Blaster is, or the Bit Blaster, this is essentially asteroids, but with a ton of different power-ups, and so it's got the old school, 8-bit styling, but it's got a butt ton of different weapons and whatnot. You can play in a co-op mode. It's just super fun. Like, it is asteroids ramped up to the level of the absolutely absurdly ridiculous, and is therefore extremely fun and highly, highly recommended. There are multiple ships to unlock and just all kinds of good times to be had for the low, low price of 67 cents if you just get the Bit Blaster, 99 cents if you get it with the original game. So, yeah. I will say this, though. This business right here, this arcade score chaser bundle, Atom Vision Studios makes really good games that are simple. It's simple ideas. You need to know, look at Ding Dong XL, which I think is coming up on this list. Fairly certain. But yeah, like, he will take the like most minute, tiny little, just nugget of an idea and then blow it up into a full-fledged awesome game. And I love it. I love it. I don't have all of the games on this list, but for under $4, like, you get a whole bunch of games, and you get this one, and you get some other cool stuff besides. So you could certainly do much worse. Braveland. When I saw that this was on this portion of the list, I was like, surely I have misplaced this game. Surely this is wrong. Surely this is not where this goes. Yeah, I've mentioned this game before when I was talking about Circle Empires and how Circle Empires took the idea of an RTS and just boiled it down to its essence and was like, okay, we're going to present this in a way that both like hardcore RTS guys can enjoy and also just regular normal people who don't obsess over, like, the minutia of RTS gameplay. Same thing here, but for a strategy turn-based RPG. So if you have not been playing strategy RPGs and it hasn't been your bag and you don't know what goes on in the world of people who play games like this, well, Braveland is excellent. It has, decent little story. It's got very, like, once you get into the game, very cute animations. It's extremely user friendly, but it's also not dumb. It hasn't taken all of the has not, robbed you of your ability to get a decent challenge and to really have a fun time with this. There's a lot to this game, and I can't believe that you can get it for 79 cents. That's not how cheap it was when I bought it, but look at this, very positive in the reviews. There's a reason for that, is because this game is excellent. If you have played turn-based strategy type games before, pick this one up. It's super good. There's a whole world of Braveland games. They have like there's Spaceland, and there's Braveland Pirates and Braveland Wizard, but there's Knights of Braveland. There's like so many Braveland games, and I have most of them. I should be picking up Knights of Braveland on this Steam sale. I've not picked it up yet, but I probably will. I love this series. It's just really excellent turn-based strategy gameplay, and to get it for 79 cents, that's a steal, people. That is a steal. Build more cubes. I feel like that's somebody else's video. I'm not going to show somebody else's. But I feel like a perpetual defender of this game. Basically what it is like real-time strategy, but of the realest time, because you are just constantly moving. You start out with a small band of dudes, and then you just move your mouse around the screen, and they will go wherever you tell them to go. And then you fight against whoever else happens to be on the screen, and you will either win or perish, one of the two. It's very simple, very easy to learn, but also it's way more nuanced than you would think, given the simplicity of the controls and everything else. So yeah, it's a strategy game, but it's always running, so it feels like constant action. It's really easy to pick up. It takes a while to get really good at it, and it's 49 cents. So yeah, decent little game that I happen to like a whole lot. I don't look at the pitiful number of reviews. Not enough people play this game, but I think it's great. Carnal. Now, this is officially the year of the boomer shooter. Boomer shooters are everywhere. People are learning that these type of games are it. This one is a really good boomer shooter. It's very similar to your Dooms and your, Wolfensteins and your Rise of the Triadises and your, I don't know, what any other game from that era that you want to name. Your Duke Nukem 3Ds or whatever. It is a very, very fun, very silly, almost comically violent game that has a ton of really fun weapons. And I was surprised when I picked it up, because I picked it up in one of my budget extravaganza videos, which I'll be doing again before too long, where I just pick up games that I know nothing about, that have very few reviews, and then I just try and figure out what it's all about and figure out whether or not it's a good game. This one is a really good game. And see, a few people have figured that out. If you're looking for a boomer shooter, 49 cents for this Mamma Jamma, and it's really, really good. Are you kidding me right now? Caveblazers, another one that I'm like, it's under $1 now. This game I played for the first time on the PS Vita. It is an independent game, indie game from way back. Been around for a few years now. It is very similar to things like Spelunky, you know. It is a roguelike in this very same way. You're going into this mine and you are picking up loot and you are killing everything you come across and you are trying to survive and make your character just a little better each time that you go once more into the breach. And yeah, it's really random and really fun. And I would argue that it is every bit as good as the first Spelunky game, although, maybe not as good as Spelunky 2, but whatever. Like, this game does not get nearly enough love for how good it is. And now that you can get it for less than $1, people got to learn about this game. Like, I have been championing this game since forever. I love this game. It is one of my favorite dungeon crawlers of all time. And it is a roguelike just masterpiece. I think it is as good as you could expect a roguelike from, 2017, which is when the genre was really becoming like coming into its own, and the entries were starting to come fast and furious and just crowding everything else out. It comes from that time period, and I feel like it just kind of got swept under the rug, and that's why I've been championing this game for forever, and I want you to buy it. Like, I feel like I have a personal investment in it, even though I have no actual personal investment in it. They don't send me money. They don't know who I am. I'm just telling you, this is a good game. And if you like roguelikes, this is one you should pick up and try. All right, Cecconoid. Cecconoid is a shooter that, as you can see, it's old school, there you go, has the same basic color palette as Downwell. It's black and white and sometimes red. There you go. That's exactly what it is. So it looks very old school. I was about to say it plays old school. It does not play old school. It plays very new school. It is quite hard. I will tell you that. It is a difficult game, not for the faint of heart, but definitely very cool and very fun. And so I do recommend it. If you like shooters, if you like old school shooters, yeah, for 99 cents, Cecconoid, it's a good pickup. Chimpology. Now, here's another one I've been championing for a while, and someone just recently told me that they picked this game up and that they've been playing it for a while, and they're like, yeah, I picked it up because of you, and I totally love it. This game, if you remember the old school days of the internet where basically pictures would load line by line, well, the idea behind this game is that you are a monkey and your job, well, you're a chimp, and your job is to hit the 0 and the 1 key. You have a keyboard with just 2 keys on it, and you got to hit all the 0s and 1s in order to make the picture appear bit by bit. And so you're helping people download pictures in the old school days of the internet, and it sounds really stupid. It is kind of stupid, but it's also really, really fun. It's super simple, and you start to think like, oh, it's just 0s and 1s. 2 buttons? Okay, I can handle that. It's one of those ones where it's going to catch you by surprise, where you're going to play it once and be like, well, that was kind of stupid. And then you're going to be like, nah, let me give it another shot. And then you're going to give it another shot, and then you're going to be like, I bet I can do better next time. And then pretty soon you're playing some Chimpology. So yeah, see, very positive of the very few people who actually know the game. Uh-oh, don't look at the dirty pictures. Dirty pictures in ASCII. Oh, man. What a world we were living in back in the day. Who knew? Anyway, Chimpology, it heralds back to the olden times of the internet, and yeah, it's very fun. You can play multiplayer. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. But like maybe we need to like get some people to go head to head on some Chimpology, get some multiplayer gameplay footage going. That'd be really fun. Anyway, 49 cents. It is literally it's just dumb fun is what it is. It's not smart fun. I'm not going to tell you it's smart fun. It's dumb fun. And that's sometimes the best kind. Okay, here we have what might arguably be the best deal on this entire list. Because you get 2 games for the price of 1. Still, it's 74 cents. And this is Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death 7. Now, what about Breath of Death 1 through 6? Don't worry about those. You only need 7. So if you look at these, you will see that they are old school RPGs. Very old school RPGs. And the beauty of these games is that the guys who created them, Zeboyd Games has made some of the very best RPGs of the last several years. Like they just have, and they make them in the super old school style. And by the way, this is not RPG Creator or RPG Maker. No, they coded their own engine for this thing. Like they made this. This is their thing. This is what they do. They made the fantastic Cosmic Star Heroine, which is one of the best 16-bit RPGs ever made, hands down. And I know that that's making quite a statement because people are going to be like, what about Chrono Trigger? Yeah, I know what I said. I heard me say it. Cosmic Star Heroine is one of the greatest 16-bit RPGs ever made. Now, the other things that Zeboyd Games has made, Cthulhu Saves the World, let's just look at the things that they made. Ooh, I don't have this one yet. This Way Madness Lies? How is this new? It looks new. Oh, it came out last year. How did I not get this? Anyway, I'm going to get this. It's not that expensive. I'm going to get it because they make nothing but good things. There's Cthulhu Saves Christmas. There's Breath of Death 7, which we're going to look at in just a minute. And Cosmic Star Heroine, which I said is one of the greatest 16-bit RPGs ever made. These guys only make quality, I'm telling you. Breath of Death 7 and Cthulhu Saves the World, as well as Cthulhu Saves Christmas, they are hilarious. Cosmic Star Heroine is not made to be hilarious. It's a straight-up RPG, and it's excellent. These ones are I would say spoof, except for spoof indicates low quality and not as good as the originals that spawned them. No, these games are really good. They're well designed. They are like the level design is excellent. Everything is just really well thought out. It's made by people who really understand classic RPGs at a deep core level. These are fans of the genre who are like, what if we mess around with the genre? And it works so well. It works so well. And so, yeah, these 2 games, this 2-pack, if I can get back to it, Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death 7, you're getting hours and hours of gameplay of 2 of the funniest RPGs that you will ever play for 74 cents. So, yeah, that is a steal on top of a steal. It's a double steal. Cyber Badminton 2020. Now, this game is another silly goose. Yeah, it's the year 2020, as if anyone could remember. Yeah. The Earth is invaded by aliens, and then you have to play the aliens in a game of badminton for the fate of the entire Earth. And it's this awesome 8-bit badminton game in which, however you play, if you start playing really well, the aliens will start taunting you and trying to get in your head. If you play poorly, they will yell at you and make fun of you and whatnot. Like, it's a really funny, fun game, and it's all wrapped up in this very, very simple badminton game, little 8-bit badminton. It's really fun. 75 cents. Defunct is kind of hard to define. It's kind of a racing game. You're this one-wheeled robot who is going around this massive world, and there's all kinds of crazy tracks and stuff, and pickups and whatnot, and you do these crazy jumps and all kinds of tricks and whatnot. Like, it's very fast, very, very good looking, as luck would have it, and it's just extremely expansive. Like, it just, yeah, there's a lot of game to this game, and it plays very quickly, surprisingly quickly. And yeah, you just this little robot just cruising through the world. And a lot of ways, one of the things that bugs my wife about Sonic the Hedgehog is like, oh, I never feel like I'm getting to see the entire level. And that's kind of the charm of the Sonic the Hedgehog games, is that, like, you don't get to see the whole level. You got to make split-second decisions, and based on the split-second decisions you make, you're only going to see the things that you see, based on the choices that you've made. Same thing with this game. You're just gonna, like, and it works on gravity. Your little robot has like a gravity multiplier, so you hit that gravity multiplier when you are going on a downhill, and then you release it on the uphill, and that's what propels you. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve in figuring out, like, okay, how do I make this guy go? But once you get it, you just start flying through this world, and it's very satisfying. 99 cents. It's an impressive game to be picking up at this price. Okay, so Deus Ex, if you didn't know, is just one of the greatest video games ever made. It just is. It just is. Now, I know that there's a ton of sequels and that they're not all great, but in this game, like, it's got first-person shootery elements and RPG elements and stealth elements, and choices really, really matter. Uh, like, because you ultimately decide the fate of the entire world, and you're this augmented human who can do all these crazy things. The graphics are, graphical. They are of a time, because this came out in the year 2000. But I'm telling you, it literally is one of the greatest games ever made. Everybody knows Half-Life, and everybody loves Half-Life, and some people know the sequels in the Deus Ex series, which are kind of, some of them are okay, and some of them are outright terrible. But the original Mamma Jamma is beyond reproach. It is absolutely stunning, and it's 97 cents. This is one of those games where I'm like, everybody should play this once, because it's so good. It's so good. The story is just, it's incredible. It's an incredible piece of art, in addition to being a really good video game. And so, yeah, I cannot hype this one up enough, as you can tell. But 97 cents, that's a good deal. Now, I have featured the older brother of Devious Dungeon, which is Devious Dungeon 2, in another video. I picked this one up on the cheap, not knowing if it would be any good. I got it in one of my budget extravaganza videos and didn't know anything about it. Picked it up on the random, and it's super, super fun. So this is a roguelike. It is procedurally generated and all of that. Well, it's more of a roguelite, because you upgrade your dude. He gets better over time. If you're dying a lot early on, you'll get the chance to make yourself a little stronger so that you can adjust the gameplay to your ability, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it's got a lot of replayability. The second game, Devious Dungeon 2, has just way more stuff, different character types, way more unlockables and whatnot. But this one is a surprisingly deep game at its price point of just 99 cents. It's a really good roguelike, and I like it. I like it a whole lot. I would like to tell more people to play it because, once again, it's one of these ones where like 262 people have said, we really like this. And most of the rest of the rogueliking world is like, we're going to play the ones that everybody already talks about. So yeah, this is one that I talk about because I feel it needs a little more love. Die Already. Ooh, yeah, this is a fun one. It is a top-down shooter. You can see some kind of Hotline Miami stylings here. Very violent, very bloody. A lot of weapons, a lot of upgrades, a lot of fun things. Interesting level, kind of cyberpunkish, which is fun. Yeah, reminds me of the original Alien Breed that was top down, the DOS one. It reminds me of that a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. I played this game. It only has 4 user reviews. It's less than 50 cents. I think it's a really good game, and it's definitely worth a pickup. Okay, so I've already mentioned Atom Vision Studios and how they take just the simplest game idea that you can imagine and then just blow it up. This is Ding Dong XL, where literally all you do is you go back and forth. That's it. You're just going back and forth. And yes, the art style looks very Geometry Wars, which is a game that I love from back in the day. There's still Geometry Wars. Maybe it's not on sale right now. I don't know. I really like that game. Did I check that? I don't know. I feel like I checked everything. I've been doing this too long. I can't go looking into every single game. I'm doing my best. But yeah, Ding Dong XL takes this simple idea of you're just trying to get from one end of the screen to the other with all this stuff flying across. And it's, bright and lasery. It's got a good soundtrack. It's a really, really good game. And yeah, they say this is an addictive just one more round score chaser. It's exactly what it is. It's 49 cents. And I just highly encourage you to check out some Atom Vision games if you're looking for fun arcade style video gaming on a budget, because that's exactly what they do. That is their specialty. That's why I enjoy so many of their games. Oh yeah, I just mentioned this one when I was talking Cecconoid, but Downwell. This game is so fun, and it's such a great original idea, but it also feels very old school. Like, it reminds me of Caverns of Mars. Does anybody remember Caverns of Mars? It's a game I used to play on the Atari. Anyway, but yeah, you're just falling down a well, and you got guns on your feet, and you're just trying to stay alive as you fall down the well. That's it. Oh, sorry. I've been trying to edit all of my coughs out. Hold up. There's another one coming. I feel like I'm getting all of you sick just by osmosis or something. But anyway, regardless, Downwell is very fun. It's a very simple idea. Beautiful black, white, and red animation. Very old school feeling. Feels old and new at the same time. It's 98 cents. All right. Well, I didn't just die just then. Whew. That got ugly there for a minute. Dungeon Arena. Yeah, between Downwell and this game, I just, I almost, hacked up a lung. It was really bad. I know that is a, everybody says that and it's a whole thing, but whatever. Anyway, this little game right here is just an arena-based dungeon game. Very simple, very straightforward, not a lot to it. I will say that. There's not a lot to it. But it's fun. I had fun with it. Like, when I played it, I was like, am I having fun? Yes, I'm having fun. This isn't even on sale. What are you doing on the list, Dungeon Arena? You know what? Scratch this. Don't give them money until they get their act together. Can't believe I put a non-sale game on my sale game list. I'm losing it, people. Clearly, I have lost my touch. Okay, so this one actually is on sale. Back in the day when Diablo just rewrote the book on how RPGs work, a bajillion people were like, okay, well, we have to have our version of that. And this one, Dungeon Siege, this is Square Enix and gas-powered games. Remember gas-powered games? Anyway, sorry, I'm still coughing and dying, but you remember gas-powered games if you remember Supreme Commander, which is the sequel to Total Annihilation, which is one of the greatest RTSs ever made. Anyway, Dungeon Siege is one of the earliest and best Diablo clones. And it spawned a couple of sequels. Dungeon Siege 2 is super awesome. Yeah, $2.99. You can get Dungeon Siege 2 and 3 and 3 Treasures of the Sun. Dungeon Siege 3 is not as good. Let's just say that out loud. But Dungeon Siege 2 is also quite good and well worth playing. I recently beat this game again for the first time in like 20 years. And it was super fun. I had a really, really good time playing it. I was surprised how well it held up. So yeah, you can pick this one up for 97 cents, and it's some old school RPG good times. Foodie Bear is an old school platformer. You play this big old fat bear who is all about the food. And as you eat the food, you get fatter. And then it makes it harder and harder to get around the level, which is funny because you both need the food and also the food makes it harder. It's a really interesting concept. It's really funny. It's a really funny little game. And when I first started playing it, I was like, do I like this? Is this what I'm playing right now? And then as it went along, I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun. This is a pretty good time. It can get pretty hard. I won't lie. But yeah, 55 cents for an old school platformer that the twist on it is that your dude just gets extremely fat. I want to go back to that. Like, extremely fat. Where's that part where, yeah, he just gets like bulbous. He just gets, dude gets quite large. Anyway, is very silly. It's very fun. Foodie Bear is a good time. Ghost Maze. Okay, so this is exactly what it looks like. It's Pac-Man, but with guns. That's what it is. It's just Pac-Man with guns. Now, is it a good shooter? No. Is it fun? Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be. And that's not for nothing, you know? I can respect what this game does. There are people who will tell you, like, come on, like, this is not that good. You know, when I featured it last year, there were people who were like, no. Which is fine. Like, look, we are all doing our own thing in the world of gaming. Nobody's going to convince you of anything. Like, your opinions are your own. My opinions are my own. I happen to like this game. And for 49 cents, Like, come on. Pac-Man with guns. Okay, I don't know how to properly hype up this game because it deserves serious hype. Like, this game is so good. It is not budget in terms of quality, it is budget in terms of price. It is such stupidly fun. Um and it does not take itself too seriously at all. It is basically Galaga or Galaxian or any one of those old school arcade type shooters. It's one of those, but done with a modern art style and with all of the benefits of modern game making, so you can do more with it. There are some incredibly fun and good power-ups. There are some incredibly stupid power-ups that are just dumb fun. Like this game is so much fun, and it's constantly throwing new wrinkles at you. And I cannot hype this game up enough. I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job at telling you that. Look, I've been playing Galaxian. That used to be my game when I was a kid. I had hopes that I would become so good at it that Robert Preston, the original Music Man on Broadway, would come and, take me away from my small town and have me throw the Death Blossom at some aliens. Talking about the plot of The Last Starfighter, for those who don't know. Yeah, very influential on me as a young child. I was like, I can leave this small town if I become good enough at a video game. I am practicing Galaxian now. Anyway, I did. I used to just practice Galaxian, and I became very good at it. I have set high scores on Galaxian machines in old school arcades wherever I go. Like, I do try to do that. Because I'm pretty good at it. I don't know, like, in terms of world class or anything, like, I have no idea. But I might be able to take the high score on your local machine. Like, if I ever end up in your town and am at a pizza place that has a Galaxian machine, I might set a new high score. If you see my initials ASS, that's me. Anyway, regardless. So as someone who cut their teeth on that kind of, yeah, sometimes it just goes Tetris for no reason. Like, and these two aliens who are sisters, they constantly taunt you. Everything about this game is hilarious and fun. It's just hilarious and fun. And look, very positive, but only 112 people. I'm telling you, I'm begging you. Like, look, if you are not going to spend a lot of budget Steam dollars, but you enjoy shooters, like if you've ever enjoyed like Galaga or Galaxian or any old school arcade type shooter, I am begging you people. This game is so good and it's so fun, and it gets no love when it deserves all the love. Cannot stress that enough. This game is just it's incredible. I love it. I love it so much. And I want other people to love it as well. Anyway, it's 99 cents and an incredible amount of fun. Okay, I just looked at the clock. We got to pick it up if we're going to make this under an hour. So, yeah, Hammy. You're looking for the one from Ammonite Studio. It's 49 cents. It is basically the the equivalent of Marble Madness or Super Monkey Ball. It's just, your little hamster in a ball. You're going around collecting the things, and you are on this very large, increasingly difficult maze. When you finish a level on this game, it feels very satisfying. It's not too incredibly deep, but it is a fair bit of fun, and I happen to like it. It's 49 cents. Hero of the Day. Hero of the Day is a precision platformer. That's what it is. It's made for, speed running type of thing. You can see that its influences are pretty obvious, Now, it's not as good as a game like Celeste. It's not as good as Super Meat Boy or things like that. But, for the amount that you're paying to get this game, it is pretty decently fun. It's only 49 cents. And yeah, it's worth a look if you like those tough as nails platformers and you're looking for one that not everybody has ever played. So, pretty good one for 49 cents. Horde of Plenty is a game that I picked up on a budget extravaganza. I don't know when, may have been last year, may have been the year before. Anyway, twin stick shooter, but it's got this thing where you can move these walls and create barriers and also like get away from your enemies. So it involves, rapid strategy as well as, twin sticky prowess. So it adds a new little wrinkle to your twin stick arena based shooter, which is fun. And I love me some twin stick arena based shooters. This is a really good one. It's only 74 cents. Iron Fisticle. This is the younger brother, the original to the Iron Crypticle. Iron Crypticle is the more involved, way more weapons and characters and unlockables and things than the original. But the original is still quite fun. If you want to figure out what this world of iron, whatever's is, crypticals and fisticles is all about, this is where it starts. And if you just want to, get an entry into the series and figure it out, you can do so for under $1. There's a lot here. It plays a lot like if you've ever played things like Robotron. It's just an endless series of guys coming after you. Little Vampire Survivors-esque in a few ways, but it's just single screen arena-based shooter that gets increasingly frantic, and it's super fun, and I love it, and it's 98 cents. Just Cause is a series that came out after GTA, and you can see the GTA influence for sure. But the deal here is that you're overthrowing like South and Central American governments. I have played all the way through this game. It is a lot of dumb fun. The whole point of the Just Cause series is so that you can do all of the dumb stunts that you have seen in every action movie where you're like, physics doesn't work like that. But the dumb, mindless action movie stunts, that's what these games are built around. You get to be a cool guy who doesn't look at explosions. It's a very fun game. I played all the way through it, and it is only 97 cents. I highly recommend having at least one Just Cause game in your library, just because, like, open world madness, like just open it and go recreate a scene from the Expendables or whatever. Like, it's just dumb action movie fun, and I love it. Now, King Rocket. The obvious thing here is who this guy is with his dumb haircut and whatnot. That part of the game is ridiculous and uncalled for. But on the plus side, this is a really, really solid lunar lander type of game where you gotta fly your little rocket up and collect these stars and, fight off the gravity and not run into any of the walls. It's, reasonable degree of difficulty, but extremely fun. It's one of those, ooh, I bet I can get it on the next one. I bet I got it on the next one. Classic gameplay. Lunar Lander goes back a bajillion years in the world of video gaming, and so it's not a new concept, but it does bring a couple new wrinkles to the game, and the fact that you're playing as Kim Jong-un, topical. There you go. Anyway, 55 cents for, just some dumb old school style fun. Little Tennis is everything that it tells you that it is. It's just a little tennis game. It's just little tennis. And it's surprisingly good tennis. Like, it plays really well. And there was a decent degree of difficulty when I started playing this. I could not score a point at first, and then I started getting the hang of it, and then it became really, really fun. And so yeah, it's a decent little tennis game for only 49 cents. So yeah, if you want to play a little tennis game, here you go. Now we're talking some casual gaming. Montaro and its sequel Montaro RE, which are basically the exact same game. Uh, Montaro RE just has different and more unlockables than Montaro, so I would recommend picking up one or the other or possibly both. The soundtrack to these games is really, really good. I really love the soundtrack. But you play as this dog and you're going around and you are stealing girls' pantsuit. See, he did a little jump there and it took her underpants. Yeah, that is the basis of the game. It's so stupid. There's really no point to it. But yeah, Montaro RE is basically the same thing. If I pull that one up, yeah, same price, basically the exact same game. It just has different level designs and different unlockable dogs. That's about it. Both of them are extremely fun. I recommend either or both. I have both. I've played both. I've unlocked everything. I've gotten every achievement. It's just like if you want something casual, laid back, this is it. Mutant Mudds Deluxe is a solid callback to every old school platformer that has ever existed. Now, when this one came out on the 3DS, it's got this mechanic where you can jump between the foreground and the background, which is a really fun game mechanic. But yeah, much better on the 3DS if you can get it. But if you don't have that luxury, well, then play it here and get it for less than $1 because this is a really, really solid platformer. And all of the bonus stages are literal send ups to other old school video games. And they're really, really fun to play. It's very impressively done. It's only 99 cents. Over 9,000 zombies. This remains the only game that I have ever played with a fan of my channel. Yeah, someone hit me up one time, was like, hey, I also own that game. Let's play sometime. And then we played, and it was super fun. But yeah, here's the thing with over 9,000 zombies is that you have different rounds, and in between rounds, you build up your fortifications to try and survive each coming wave of zombies. And it becomes increasingly frantic and increasingly difficult, but also increasingly fun. Super good time, only 55 cents. Okay, I know we're coming up on the hour mark, but I almost died just then, and I need to keep harping on this for just a second. You can get a 2-pack for 83 cents. Do not sleep on the fact that this is one of a very few games that has online multiplayer at this price point. Super fun to play together. Okay, look, I don't know how much I need to sell you on this, but Portal and Portal 2. They are the classic 3D puzzle platformer games built in the Half-Life universe, and they are so incredibly great. Like, if you've never played Portal, you get on it. Like, and if you don't have it in your Steam library yet, like, this is a must own. Like, you gotta have Portal. Also, this video is doing it no favors. Yeah, you traverse your way through the world with this portal gun, opening up portals and then jumping through them to get to other places in the levels. It gets increasingly difficult, and there's a whole backstory happening behind it. Portal 2 is even more like that, and the fact that you can get both games for $1 a piece, well, a little less than $1 a piece, incredible value. Every year when I do my budget extravaganza videos, this is what I'm looking for each and every time. Because this game, when I got it, I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe that this is real. Basically, you are a prisoner, and it's top-down view, and so you're just this, black and white stripy block, essentially, and you've got your chainball attached to you, which you swing around and use as a weapon. And then you collect money, and then from the money that you have collected, in between rounds, you can upgrade your prison ball and, get it more spiky, more deadly, more awesome. This game is stupid amounts of fun. It is very simple and easy to learn, easy to pick up. And like, it's gory, but in a very hilarious way. Yeah, it's 99 cents. And this is exactly what I look for when I'm looking at budget games. I love this game. Project Snaqe is something that you will immediately recognize. Remember Snaqe? Remember playing on your old school Nokia phone? Well, this is the evolution of that. Yeah, you're going through, you are mining, and you get all kind of different upgrades and whatnot to your little vehicle that is getting increasingly long. There are moles that pop up here and there. There are, all kind of interesting power-ups and whatnot and things that you can do. It's really, really fun. And it's some unique twists on an old classic, which is, that's a common theme in games in this area. But, like, who doesn't love Snaqe? And who doesn't want a really well done, interesting version of it for 59 cents? Road Bustle, this is another take on a classic. You might be looking at this and thinking like, oh, that is basically Crossy Road. Yeah, well, except for Crossy Road is Frogger. But yeah, you have a jetpack, so it's Frogger with a jetpack, essentially. It's a really silly concept. Oh yeah, you get golf carts, you get all sorts of different power-ups and whatnot to help you in your quest across the road. It's just, simple, dumb fun. If you like games like this, here you go, 49 cents for, a really interesting and fun take on an old classic. Road Flash. Now, this is how car racing games used to be back in my day. Yeah, are you ready to show me some gameplay footage so that I can tell people that it's basically top down? You see some Spy Hunter-y vibes in there? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely some Spy Hunter type feels. And that's the vibe that you get. Oh yeah, and then your car takes to the skies as if you were what's his name from Mask? Freaking I know the names of the characters from Mask. Don't hint me on this. Trekker, no, not Scott Trekker, that's the kid with T-Bob. I'm completely blanking on the guy who drives the flying car from Mask. You're all yelling at your screen because you watched the same 1980s cartoons that I did. Anyway, this is just simple old school arcade style racing, and it's quite fun. It's 77 cents. Rotatex II. There's also a Rotatex 3, which I think is also on sale, but I don't have that one and I've never played it, so I'm not going to recommend it, but I have played this. This will immediately remind you of the bonus stages from Sonic the Hedgehog, which is what it should remind you of. Is a simple game where you rotate the level, you try and make it past all of the spikies. That's not the best gameplay footage. I have better gameplay footage than that. Anyway, it's a simple game concept, but it's done very well, and it gets increasingly difficult as you go through the levels. So that's fun. And yeah, if you like this kind of puzzly, platformy goodness, this is yours for just 49 cents. Shooting stars. I just highlighted this in one of my I can't believe I forgot about these games videos. Yeah, this is a vertical shooter, and yeah, you are saving the planet from evil, which is celebrities. And so yeah, you've got your laser cat, and you are picking up all sorts of crazy, yeah, there are so many celebrities in this. Yes, you should stop reading right now. Anyway, it is so silly and fun, and it's also quite difficult. It gets very bullet hellish at times. And so, yeah, you got to get them crazy pickups and whatnot, and try and keep yourself alive with your laser cat against the evil celebrities. Yeah, just a good time all around. And yeah, it's 99 cents. This is a very fun game. Smithy is, yeah, I'll show you the thing. Smithy, don't go full screen right away, silly goose. Anyway, Smithy is an old school twin stick type shooter slash dungeon crawler. It's very fun. It gets very frantic. It becomes very difficult to stay alive over time. My only complaint about this one is that it gets kind of samey over time. Like, it is kind of the same enemies again and again, in the same kind of environments. But yeah, if you want to do some dungeon crawling with guns, well, this is your chance. It's quite fun, and it's 99 cents. Space Mayhem. This is another classic arcade type shooter that you will immediately recognize as asteroids. Like, oh, there you go. It's basically asteroids, except for it gets crazy, and you get some crazy power ups and stuff. And unlike asteroids, where you have the option to stay still, you kind of don't in this one. You're just constantly flying around, trying not to die, trying to blow up everything on the screen, and collect various power ups. So, yeah, very frantic, very fun. This one and Super Bit Blaster are, two excellent pickups in this genre. But yeah, Space Mayhem for 48 cents. Super Jagua. It is an old school platformer that looks boring. It looks so boring. It really does. It's like, what is this? What am I playing this on? Come on now. This has got to be crazy boring. But I'm telling you, the wrinkles that this game brings to the old school platforming genre, like, it just has so much that it does, and it keeps throwing new wrinkles into the game. And yeah, it's way more fun than it looks. I will tell you that, because the main character looks kind of like a knockoff Scooby-Doo, and you're like, what am I even playing? I will tell you this, I was underwhelmed by the coins in this game, because, picking up a coin is one of the most satisfying things you can do in a video game. Yeah, the coin pickups in this game, not nearly satisfying enough. They're too big, and it doesn't quite feel right. But everything else about this game, I was fully intent on not liking it from the word go. And then it won me over, because it's got so many interesting wrinkles on old school platforming, and it's only 49 cents. Okay, I'm not going to be the only one to tell you this, so I'm not going to pretend like I am. The Binding of Isaac is a modern classic. It's a twin stick shooter action roguelike, in which you're this kid who is killing everybody with your tears because you're a big old crybaby. Yep, just a big old crybaby. Uh, it's a weird game. It's very weird and quite gory and strange. But it's a fun little world. Like, they've built an entire world. And look, there are all of the other versions of this game that you can pay a lot more money to get. If you've never played Binding of Isaac at all, I recommend picking up the original base game for just 74 cents. Okay, this is another one where I'm like, what? This game is under $1? First of all, this is a very, very good uh, hack and slash type of game. Your character does not wear a lot of clothes. She is female. They are constantly jibbling her jubblies throughout the entire game. And so if you're into the fan service, well, there you go. If you're not, there are some bosomy ladies in this game. And it's constantly a thing. But this is an excellent game. There is a ton of game here. This is an action RPG, and it's super fun, and it's super well made. I can't believe you can get this for less than $1. I don't know why this game doesn't get more love, especially because, like, seems like sex sells. Come on. Look, it's very positively reviewed. I'm telling you it's good, and you trust everything that I say, clearly. But no, I'm serious. Like, this is a very fun game, and if you can get past the fact that she is, like, just bikini sorting her way through this entire world the whole time, just jubblies a gibblin'. Well, if you could get over that for 79 cents, you are getting a heck of a lot of game in this game here. So, yeah, I highly recommend this one. Turbo Pug, here we go. Let's see this thing. Yeah, Space Cat Productions for the Turbo Pug. When I type this in, there are apparently a whole series of games. There's a deluxe version of this, which is also under $1, I believe. There's a Turbo Pug 3D. But this game, yeah, there's a lot of unlockable characters. This is like the more serious version of Montaro. Like, it's a auto-running collectathon type of game. That gets increasingly difficult as you go through the levels, as you can see. Like, once you see those buzz saws come out, you're like, oh, it's gonna get serious. It's gonna be spikes and buzz saws, and yeah. Anyway, and there's all sorts of different characters that you can pick up, and they all play a little bit differently, which adds to the replayability of the game. It's a very fun little game, and it's just 99 cents. If you like those auto runners, here's a really good one. Okay, last game. Don't mind me. I was looking up Akane, which is a very good game. That's $3.24. Too expensive for this list, and didn't go on my other list because I own it on the Switch. I don't own it in Steam yet, but it's this arena, hack and slashy type of game. Ubermosh. Whoa, where'd you go, screen? Come back. Anyway, Ubermosh is the same basic idea. There are multiple Ubermosh games. There's 1, 3, 5, 7, and Black. The one that I own all of these, but the one that I've actually spent time playing is Ubermosh Black. So, get into the gameplay. It is, yeah, if you've ever played Akane, you're going to be like, oh, that looks very similar to Akane. It does, and it is. It is an arena-based hack and slasher. The bad guys have guns. You have a sword. And a gun. Yeah. But the gun it's very twin sticky and kind of hard to aim unless you unless you hack and slash your way through to get some space so that you can aim it. So you really have to do both. You can't do just one. Anyway, it's an entire series of these kind of games, and this one is very good. The other ones, I assume, also good. There is a small but dedicated following for these games, and they get very violent and gory. But if you like that arena-based hack and slash action, Ubermosh. Anyway, people, that's going to do it for this one. I can't believe I finally made it to the end. I'm sick. I'm tired, exhausted beyond repair. I'm just falling apart here. You don't know how much time I spent just hacking up a lung and like trying to re-lubricate my voice with water. Like, it's been an ordeal getting through these videos. And I don't bring this up because I'm trying to make you feel bad or anything. You did not force me. Sorry. I'm not getting emotional. My voice is giving out. More water. There we go. Sorry for all the things. I just wanted to say that, like, the entire reason that I do this is because every year when I do these videos, I find new people joining my channel, and I don't know how I've lucked into this, but I just get the best people. You know, nice guys who, mostly guys. It is mostly gentlemen, but like whatever. But everybody's super nice and super chill and has the same basic interest that I do, which is, you know, playing video games, enjoying video games, doing it on the cheap as much as possible. I am a school teacher in my actual life, and I don't have a bajillion followers. This is, you know, an amateur channel run by an amateur, and I just do it for the love of the game. And I love these games. Like, I really do. I love playing video games. I love sharing that love with other people. And so if you have benefited from this, then good. I'm glad. I really am. You know, I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe or ring that bell or whatever. Like, that is your own choice. I'm not going to force you to do anything. But yeah, like, I do appreciate if you've spent time watching this. Very much appreciated, because, you know, this is the busy time for my channel. This is when I get my most views, because people want to know, like, what's cool that's on Steam that's for sale. And yeah, my bread and butter is telling people about good, underappreciated, cheap games. So hopefully you find some of those to add to your own collection. That's all I care about. You know, if there are underappreciated games out there that are worth playing, that are a good value, that you can add to your library and get some enjoyment out of, and show a little love to the people who put their dedication into creating the games, that's what it's all about. Anyway, people, thanks for being here for all of these, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.